Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Little Fella Sports Podcast. As you can see, we are here with John's. First of all, thank you so much for coming on to the show, and of course, we've got Shreyas, who's obviously been in our show many times before. So first things first, welcome to the show, Johns. Thanks a lot for taking out time. Okay. So first things first. So we are obviously here to discuss about the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, which is starting on January the 10th, and obviously it's one of the tournaments in the Indian domestic season, which is very much looked after because it's one of the tournaments where many of the T20 talents in India get an opportunity to play because not every Indian obviously gets an opportunity to play in the IPL, and in some ways the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy is where many of the youngsters who get an opportunity to play in that particular tournament get an opportunity eventually to play in the IPL, and that's how you can say that many of the youngsters, including the big names like Hardik Pandya, Jasprit Bumrah, all these guys also, even Surya Kumar, Ishan Kishan, so many of these guys first initially established themselves in this tournament before going on to playing in the IPL and doing so well there. So obviously, Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy is one of the most prestigious competitions in India, and this season it's the start of the domestic season also because we obviously not had the Ranji Trophy because of the coronavirus pandemic, and because of that, it's obviously been a very curtailed domestic season. But obviously, we've got the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, which is starting in a couple of days. So, first question to John. John, so do you believe that this is the primary source for scouting talents in IPL, especially when it comes to young Indian players?
I think Syed Mushtaq Ali plays a big role. We have seen Mike Hassan traveling all around India last year to see and pick few talents through Syed Mushtaq Ali. Even John Wright has traveled to Kerala last year to see few talents. So every IPL team are taking this as a big part of scouting system. Even traditionally in last earlier Mumbai Indians only used to have this system. But right now we have seen many, all the IPL teams have given importance and they have been traveling with the Syed Mushtaq Ali matches all around India, and they used to see all the videos. And last year, my cousin traveled to Surat, I think, to watch Devdutt Padikkal bat inside Mushtaq Ali. We have seen how well Padikkal was batting last season inside Mushtaq Ali and all the other domestic tournaments, and that made a big impression on my cousin, and that helped Padikkal to bat as an opener in the last IPL season. So it has given a big opportunity to many stars, many unknown stars. Usually, earlier Mumbai Indians used to pick is Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya, even Bumrah, etc. But right now, there will be fight. We have seen how if someone performs inside Mushtaq Ali or in TNPL or KPL, we have seen how big money they are getting. Maybe their base price will be 20 lakh something, but we have seen that fight. Earlier, Mumbai Indians got Jasprit Bumrah for base price. Maybe one or more bids will be there. But right now, if you look at many picks, there even these domestic players, these unknown players are getting crores only because of this major impact and performance in Said Mushtaq Ali and other T20 tournaments.
Yeah, I think it's very fair to say that the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy has played a huge role in many of the youngsters eventually getting an opportunity in the IPL. And as you mentioned, the likes of Devdutt Padikkal and before, as we said, Hardik Pandya, Krunal Pandya, Bumrah, all these guys started off there and performed very well and eventually have gone on to do greater things after that. And of course, now we'll talk about specifically about the squads as we'll obviously focus on the major squads, major teams first, because obviously that's where you see many of the young talents come through. And so first we'll start off with Karnataka. They are the reigning champions from last season. So you can say that Karnataka are one of the most strongest domestic sides going around across all three formats. But especially in the white ball game, I think they have a lot of young talent, a lot of established players also who are very good white ball players. But sometimes, but this time around, it's a little bit of a miss in terms of a few of their main players will not be available due to various reasons. So they're obviously the reigning champions. And so, Shreyas, coming over to you, do you believe that Karnataka have it in them to go and retain the title again this time, or do you believe that some of their key players missing means they might not be able to replicate what they did last year?
Yeah, I mean, I remember telling you during the IPL that if you feel Karnataka's best 11, they can actually go on and compete in the IPL. So that's how good they are. I mean, of course, they won the final last year by 1 run, but still they clearly outperformed every team. And if you see the squad overall balance, even that many have gone on to represent India too. So they're a really strong side. Now that KL Rahul and Manish Pandey, the likes of those guys are missing, it will slightly be tougher. That's what my opinion is. Arun Nair is captaining, but still they have some solid set of players. So they have Shreyas Gopal, Gautam, and Rohan Kadam, and even the likes of Padikkal is still there. So they're still a strong team, and I expect them to uh, make it to the semis. And in general, Bangalore, I mean, it's a good place for many young cricketers to start their career because I've seen that they take things really seriously at school itself. So they obviously keep churning out a lot of good talents, and I'm looking forward to see many more good talents coming up in this competition.
Yeah, I think it's very fair to say that Karnataka have got incredible amount of talent coming through. So many of their players have gone on to play for India. But as you said, two of their main players who played last season, their captain and vice captain KL Rahul and Manish Pandey are obviously missing out this time and due to injury. And of course, KL is obviously got India duty with the England series coming up also. So they definitely will be huge misses. John, what do you make of Karnataka? Do you think they can go on and win the tournament once again this year?
I think it will be tough for Karnataka this year. Last season, we already knew that Karnataka was really strong. KL Rahul came and Padikkal was really going all around the park in all the matches. But this time, they are missing Manish Pandey, they are missing KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal, who are in national duty. So they have issues in their batting. If you look at Karnataka is the captain, lots of pressure on Padikkal. He'll be in big pressure, especially coming from a good IPL, and he had a terrific domestic season, and everyone will be eagerly waiting for him. Last season, he didn't have that pressure. He was really on his zone, but right now he'll be feeling that pressure because India A call will be waiting, then maybe T20 call. He is also a left-hander, so one or two IPL seasons and one or two good domestic season may lead to a India A code. Coming to the sport, I don't think Karnataka has that great unit. They have some of the old guns like Shreyas Gopal, Krishnappa Gautam, then Midun is there. Then I am really looking forward to see Rohan Kadam because he had good numbers in domestic cricket but never overlooked by any IPL teams. Many sides need that flexibility. He is also a left-hander who plays in middle order, so it is a big opportunity for him to perform and help Karnataka to win few matches, especially without their big players. Rohan Gadam will be looking forward to make a big change. But defending the title will be difficult. But if you look at all these squads, everyone has that issues because India A matches is going on. Some of them are injured, but Karnataka, as of now, I don't think they can defend, but anything can happen T20 format. But right now, looking at the sport, it will be tough for them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting to see how Karnataka cope without some of their main players, and it'll be a good opportunity for some of the youngsters to take their chances and hopefully come to the fore. Because if they have a good tournament, they obviously will get opportunities for their IPL teams, and eventually, who knows what can happen. We see what happened with Devdutt last season because he really wasn't in contention for the first 2 years in the RCB, but then last year he had an outstanding domestic season and eventually became one of RCB's most important players last season. Of course, now coming on to the runner-up from last time, Tamil Nadu obviously lost in a very, very close final last year. With Tamil Nadu, I think many of their players are playing. Obviously, there are a couple who are missing out due to a combination of reasons. Obviously, Natarajan and Ashwin are part of Indian team right now, so they miss out due to national duty. Varun Chakravarti is still recovering from his shoulder injury, which ruled him out from the Australian T20 tour as well. But overall, I think Tamil Nadu have some very experienced players like Vijay Shankar, Dinesh Karthik, Murugan Ashwin. All these guys will be the mainstays of the Tamil Nadu team. So Shreyas, coming over to you, how do you expect Tamil Nadu to perform, and do you believe they can take that one extra step this time?
Yeah, first of all, it was very gut wrenching to say the least to watch us lose in the final last year. I mean, specifically Tamil Nadu team, it's really close to my heart to say the least, even more than CSK to be very honest. So I watch every season of Ranji Trophy and Syed Mushtaq and even Vijay Hazare thinking that Tamil Nadu will win, but somehow we won in the previous year, but again last year it was very disappointing to see them lose by 1 run and that run out at the end. It was really sad to see. But there's absolutely no question about the talent that is being produced, especially white ball talent. It's there to see. We are seeing Natarajan, Washington Sundar, and the likes of Varun Chakravarti, and even the spinners. If you take, we are missing three best spinners who are Ashwin, Varun Chakravarti, and Washington Sundar. The other three spinners are equally good. I believe that potentially they are one of the top spin attacks in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy this year. Sai Kishore, Siddharth Manimaran, and Murugan Ashwin. So those three, I'm expecting all the three of them to start in the 11. And at this level, I think Murugan Ashwin, he can be handy with the bat, and I think he can take up the role of what Washington Sundar took last year. He can maybe bat at 6 and provide some runs also to the team. And we have good openers in Shah Rukh Khan and Harish too. Shah Rukh Khan has always been shown some talent with the explosiveness that he brings the TNPL circuit. And of course, Dinesh Karthik and Vijay Shankar are always there. They are really good at this level. So, I mean, Tamil Nadu have a strong team. Let's see. But the one thing that I am worried about is we are again playing all the group matches in Eden Gardens. But we do have a lot of spinners. So we have one really mystery pacer called Periyaswamy. He's touted as India's Malinga. So you may have seen him in the Mumbai Indians. Yeah, even in the Mumbai Indians, he traveled to Dubai this year.
Yeah, I know. So, with KKR also. With Dinesh Karthik's influence, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. I'm really looking forward to see every match. I think every Tamil Nadu match is being telecasted, I think. So I think in that way, it's really good to see.
Yeah, of course. With Tamil Nadu, even if they're missing a few players, I think it's fair to say they're a pretty strong team. And I think it's fair to say they are one of the favorites heading into the round because of the experience they have also. Because many of their major players have played a lot of the IPL cricket and they're coming off good IPL seasons, most of the Tamil Nadu players. Coming out to another very, very big team, obviously you can say the biggest team when it comes to domestic cricket in India. Mumbai, Mumbai's team this time is slightly inexperienced in some ways. You've got a couple of really obviously established players like Suryakumar Yadav, but I think there are a lot of young talents coming through the Mumbai circuit right now, and especially the team for this season's Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy seems really, really young in terms of experience. What do you make of them, and do you believe that it's pretty much a team which has to be carried by Suryakumar Yadav?
Yes, Suryakumar Yadav need to do a lot of job in this season because they'll be missing Shreyas Iyer as well. Iyer might come in knockouts as per new reports, but he won't be available in this group stage. So Suryakumar Yadav need to do a lot of job, and he'll be taking this challenge as well. If he can make a big impact, then it will be all into selectors' hands. He'll be certainly picked for the England T20 series. He'll be looking forward to this challenge. And as you told, it is inexperienced. They are missing Prithvi Shaw in the top order. So and bowling unit has been a big worry for Mumbai over the years. If you look at their bowling unit, they don't have that much impact like other teams. They have only Dawal Kulkarni, Thakur is missing this year due to test series. So they are missing few players, few big names. And even though bowling attack has been a big worry, if you look at last few seasons, their biggest worry has been the bowling. So batting needs to fire with Yashasvi Jaiswal in the top order. Then Suryakumar Yadav will be there. Batting will they need to chase all the targets, and one of the bigger advantages is that they'll be playing Mumbai. So as we all know, it will be for batting differently. Just win the toss and chase. They have that. We have seen in wow matches how well they were batting. They have Sarfaraz Khan is there, Siddesh Lal is there, Tare is there, then Yashasvi Jaiswal is there, Surya Kumar Yadav is there. So the batting is pretty strong and one of the best batting units in this season as well. So they need to win the toss and chase. That's all their mantra for this season.
Yeah, completely agree in terms of them having a couple of really talented players. As you said, obviously you've got Suryakumar Yadav. Apart from that, as you said, Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sarfaraz Khan had disappointing IPL seasons, and I'm sure they'll be very eager to perform well and get back into the reckoning when it comes to the IPL. The other team I'm really looking forward to seeing this season is Uttar Pradesh. Obviously, you've got Suresh Raina and Bhuvneshwar Kumar coming back after a very long time. Obviously, Raina hasn't played any form of cricket for a very long time. Bhuvneshwar Kumar also was ruled out from the IPL very early due to the injury. Interestingly, Priyam Garg, who had an outstanding IPL season in terms of being a youngster, playing in his first ever IPL in a very difficult role, playing at number 5. He played really well for Sunrisers, and he'll be the captain also, leading a couple of really well-established players like Raina and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. So, Shreyas, coming over to you, how do you expect Uttar Pradesh to do, and how, as a CSK fan, how much are you looking forward to seeing Suresh Raina back in action?
Yeah, definitely. This is one team that I've been looking forward to see. So there are four main talents, so to speak. If you have to spot in Uttar Pradesh lineup, Shivam Mavi is there, and Garg and Bhuvneshwar Kumar, and of course Suresh Raina. It will be good to see. I mean, it's quite clear now that Raina will play for CSK this year in the IPL. So I think he hasn't played cricket for so long. I think the last time he played cricket, I think it's 2019 or something. So I mean, it's been more than a year since he has played his competitive cricket. So this will be a good practice for him to come back to CSK and perform. And I'm very eager to see Priyam Garg's captaincy skills in the T20 level. I think I already told in the CSK Dawn of a New Era preview. So you can see in the card above that Priyam Garg is a future IPL captain. So it will be really nice to see how he performs, and that's primarily what I'm looking forward to. I expect them to make the quarterfinals, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I think with Uttar Pradesh, I think as you said, couple of interesting things to look forward to. Obviously, Suresh Raina coming back and Priyam Garg captaining, and obviously Bhuvneshwar Kumar also hopefully is in contention for an injury-free season, because it's been last couple of years he's really had injury issues, and hampered him even in the World Cup. We saw that, so it's a very we can say that it's one of those teams you can look forward to watching in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy this year. Of course, so John, obviously, who better to ask you than about Kerala? Kerala, very exciting team, of course, a lot of young talents. But obviously, I want to talk about two major players here. Sanju Samson, who's got a lot to play for this IPL. I mean, this Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, and of course, the big story of Kerala squad is obviously Srishant, who's making a comeback after 8 years. So I want to hear about these two players, mainly about you, and how do you think these two will fare, Srishant and Sanju Samson?
First of all, Sanju Samson, KC has given that big opportunity to captain Kerala. Till last season, Sachin Devi was the captain, then Romeo Thapa has captain, and this season they have given Sanju Samson, especially thing we can call a regular, but still he has been in Indian team for last 1 year. He traveled to New Zealand, he traveled to Australia. He has been the integral part of T20 side. His performance has been pretty average, but still he has been that integral at number 4, number 5, India's middle order weapon. Now KC has given that big opportunity to captain Kerala, and he will learn lots of things, and he can gain lots of knowledge by leading. And I think it's a experience board. If you look at the players, Sachin Devi is there, Janet Saxena is there, Robin Uttappa is there, Srishant is there, Nidish is there. So there are lots of IPL players who has played few matches. They may not be regulars of IPL, but still they have played one or two matches in IPL. So it's a big opportunity to for Sanju Samson to lead a side, maybe a future Rajasthan Royals captain as well. We don't know anything can happen because Rajasthan don't have that great Indian core. There are few of them like Riyan Parag or Yashasvi Jaiswal, but still there are not much big names like Sanju Samson from Indian team. So it will be a big opportunity for Samson to captain Kerala. And coming to Srishant, it has been a big news in Kerala. If you look at his return, everyone are excited to see him. We have seen few videos. He has played few warm matches. He has done well in these warm matches. So it will be a big opportunity for him. He has been telling that his dream is to play 2023 World Cup, but it will be really tough to make into this India squad, etc. But playing for Kerala, a tournament conducted by BCCI, it is a huge achievement. Who missed 7 years? Now he's 37, and coming back, we have seen many players who has allegations of fixing ended their careers. But Srishant fought hard, played lots of matches in Kerala, like club matches. He proved that fitness again. And we don't have Sandeep Warrior this season. He has moved to Tamil Nadu. So Srishant will be that major playing that head role of bowling department. We have Nidish, we have KM Asif, then Basil Tambi is there, Sidramon Joseph is there, Sudish Midin is there. So, but still, if you look at they lack experience in some way or another. But Srishant, who has won two World Cups and who has proved in highest level, so it will be a big opportunity for these youngsters to perform with them. So I am really excited for Kerala team. We know there is Vishnu Vinod. He'll be eagerly waiting for this season to perform. If he can do well, he can get an IPL contract. If you look at he's a package, he can keep wickets. He is a terrific fielder and he's an top order batsman. So many teams like Sunrisers Hyderabad or Royal Challengers Bangalore may need a wicketkeeper. Parthi Patel has retired. For Sunrisers means Goswami hasn't been performing, so it's a big opportunity for Vishnu Vinod to perform well and get an IPL contract this season. So there are lots to play for them. And first of all, beside Mushtaq Ali, Kerala will be looking forward to it because they haven't won a tournament conducted by BCCI in their history. So with lots of experienced players, it will be a big opportunity for Sanju Samson, Srishant, and all the members of this group.
Yeah, I think it's a huge opportunity for Kerala in terms of for the first time they could genuinely go on to win the tournament. I know they are not outright favorites, but they have a lot of quality and a lot of experience, as you said, and they may prove to be the dark horses of the tournament. Now coming on to the predictions finally. So first, John. So who do you think will be highest run scorer? Who do you think is the highest wicketer? Who do you think will win the tournament?
Run getter, we can't think other than Suryakumar Yadav. He'll be really looking at the season and going to perform. We have seen that one of matches of Mumbai. He scored 100 and couple of 70s, etc. He will be looking forward to perform like a champion. I think maybe the Padikkal will be there, but and Shikhar Dhawan is there for Delhi. Shikhar Dhawan will be the captaining Delhi. So there are few top order players like Surya Kumar Yadav, Shikhar Dhawan, then Padikkal. So these few guys are then Ishan Kishan will be there for Jharkhand. So the top order players will be getting this highest run getter tournament. So these four guys will be challenging each other to win that tournament for most runs in the season.
Highest wicket taker?
Highest wicket taker, it will be tough to predict again these wickets. So I think for Karnataka there is Prasadh Krishna is there. Then for Tamil Nadu, they will be playing in this Eden Gardens. So Sandeep Warrior, he has that experience in playing in Kolkata Knight Riders, so he'll be handy in those conditions. If they provide those wickets which help fast bowlers of Sandeep Warrior will be playing a big role. So these Prasid Krishna, Sandeep Warrior, then there will be Shivam Mavi is there. There are few guys, Anjit Rajput from Uttar Pradesh. So there are fast bowlers who can be the highest. Then Nishan Sharma from Delhi. So there are few guys. Then Bhuvaneshwar Kumar as well. So there are few big names from Indian cricket who are going to play inside Mushtaq Ali. So it will be tough to predict one winner.
And finally, who do you think wins the tournament?
Karnataka, I don't think that they have much chances. If you one team that impresses most, I think Uttar Pradesh will be a really a big a team to look out. They have Ankit Rajput is there, Mavi is there, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar is there, Suresh Raina, then there are few guys, Priyam Garg is there. So they will be really looking forward to win this title. Then Delhi can they can surprise. They have lots of young guns, many players that can look forward to the future. So Delhi will be another team. They don't have that much improved bowling unit, but still they have that batting to surprise many teams. Many players they may not know. Then Rajasthan has absolute fantastic bowling unit. We look at they have Deepak Chahar, Rahul Chahar, Khalil Ahmad. They have fantastic bowling unit. So there are few sides that can look forward to this season.
Fair enough. Shreyas, same things to you. Highest run scorer, highest wicket taker, and your winner.
Yeah, so my highest run scorer will obviously be Surya Kumar Yadav. I think he's in some beast mode as of now. He's even whacking it in IPL and even in the practice matches. I saw some of John's tweets. So I expect Surya Kumar Yadav to score surely more than 400 runs this season. And my leading wicket taker will be Sai Kishore. So he has been terrific last year too. But since he's playing in Eden Gardens, I think in group games he might uh, not be amongst the wicket, but still I expect him to get at least 2 wickets per game. And I think he's a really quality spinner who has been in the Tamil Nadu and TLPL ranks for so long, and finally he got an IPL contract last year after a tremendous performance. And sad that he didn't make a debut for CSK last year, but I think Piyush Chawla will be released this year, and Sai Kishore might be the leading spinner for CSK. So this is such a big tournament for him, in my opinion. Of course, there's Yuzvendra Chahal too, but that depends if Haryana go on to make it to the quarterfinals and so on. Uh, but still, I expect Sai Kishore to have a huge tournament and to be amongst the wicket takers. And of course, as an optimistic Tamil Nadu fan, I'll say that the winner will be Tamil Nadu. I think we have a really strong team. I mean, we have to win. There's no excuse about it. Last year it was good. I mean, we're generally a good white ball team. Even in Vijay Hazare and in Syed Mushtaq, we've done well in the past few years. So TNPL has also brought a lot of talent, and as John said, with Sandeep Warrior in the team, we have a well-rounded attack. So even with Ashwin and Washington Sundar and Varun Chakravarti missing, I still expect Tamil Nadu to be the favourites and challenge for the title.
Fair enough. I think we are all excited to look forward to the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. It's a huge tournament for many of the youngsters and some players who are looking to make a comeback into the Indian team or trying to establish themselves in terms of the IPL sides also. So it's clearly a very important tournament. First things, big props to BCCI for conducting the tournament in very difficult circumstances. Obviously, the pandemic is still there. The teams are all in a bio bubble, so it's obviously going to be a very complicated situation in terms of conducting the tournament. So hopefully things go well and the tournament goes well, because the IPL auction is not too far away. I think the IPL auction is happening on Feb 20th, so sorry, Feb 11th. So I don't think it's too far away. So it's a great opportunity for all these young players and even experienced players. So hopefully everyone has a great tournament, and we as fans have a great tournament to look forward to. So thanks a lot, Johns. Thanks a lot for taking out time for joining us today on Little Fella Sports Podcast. And as usual, thanks to you also for joining us. So guys, please
Thanks,
do like,
Anirudh
share,
Jones.
subscribe to our channel. We've got a lot of exciting content lined up. Obviously, we'll try to get Johns on as much as we can. I'm sure you guys love listening to what Johns has to say. So thanks a lot, Johns. Thanks a lot, Shreyas. So guys, thanks a lot, and Happy New Year again, once again, to all of you. In case we haven't wished you in previous videos, so thanks a lot, guys.